Welcome back to the Podcasting Problem Solver. I'm Leah Bryant, your go-to podcast growth strategist, here to coach you to podcast strategically with more clarity and better results. Okay, so if you're just joining us, welcome. You're in part 2 of a conversation with Rafer Owens Jr., certified mindset and life coach and host of the Shift and Giggles podcast. Yesterday, we dug into the mindset traps that keep podcasters stuck. You know, patience, the comparison spiral, and how to show up when you're in the messy middle. And if you haven't heard that one yet, then definitely go back after this because it leads right into what we're talking about today. So here's where we're going. Resilience. Yep. The kind that keeps you in the game for the long haul. Because you can know you need patience, but building the resilience that keeps you showing up when you really don't want to, well, that is a whole different thing. And Rafer is going to share a story about almost giving up on himself and how that turning point shifted how he approaches everything, including his podcast. We're also going to talk about why your why matters more than your download numbers and how to keep realistic expectations without losing your momentum. Whether you're in a plateau right now or you're just trying to figure out how to keep going, this conversation is going to land for you. Ready to go? All right. With your show and your business, every entrepreneur, including myself, we've all had moments where we were like, oh my gosh, is this even worth it? Can I just not be a podcaster and not be on social media and just not do all the things?
Mm-hmm.
I would be curious to know, was there ever a time that you almost gave up on something that maybe later became like a turning point for you, whether it's podcast related or not?
Whew. That's a really good question, man.
Or if there's anything, that has been like a really good teaching point for like resilience.
Yes. I have found over the years, the last 5 to be exact, 6 now. Yeesh. Wow. I do very well with very big tasks in front of me. I do very well with things that cannot be accomplished in a day or a week or a month. I do very well with like long-term, big, audacious goals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that is just how I am wired. I have no idea, but for a very long time, I was just anti-doing anything. And just these big ideas, big goals, I do really well. And so, I could pick a number of things, but running is the thing right now. And so I hate physical exercise. I love sitting on my couch. I love a good couch sit. I love having my feet up.
Yeah.
I love a nice cup of coffee. I do. I really enjoy sitting, which is the exact opposite of what you should do in your life.
Right.
And so, I don't know, 2 years ago, 23, we had done 75 hard and we failed the first time, made it like 4 weeks. And then the next time we attempted, we completed it. And that was a pivotal moment in that it helped me become a physical workout person. And so we started walking. We did a mile a day for a year. And that was one of those like come hell or high water,
right,
get it done. And so in the snow, wind, sustained 20 miles an hour, gust up to 35, 40,
Wow.
Gosh, just below freezing, 4 degrees outside, 100 degrees outside.
Committed.
Nighttime, rain, just 1 mile a day. And we walked it. And I started walking, bought a weighted vest. And then I started running because I couldn't walk any faster and started training for half marathon. That was a thing. I did not complete the half marathon, but now it's like itching. And now I have this audacious goal to run 1,000 miles in 2026.
Okay.
So I say all that to say, I am in the beginning of that. And again, I know that I cannot run 1,000 miles in one day or 1 month, But I also am like in this thing of trying to get as many miles as I can so I can make sure that I do it. And I'm working with chat, and chat's like, relax. We're doing this slowly so you can run like all 1,000 miles throughout the year. And it is teaching me patience. It is teaching me to slow down both mentally and physically. It is teaching me to take care of myself. It is teaching me recovery. We're not in a place for pace yet. We're just about effort and distance, which when I was training for the half marathon, it was about pace and it was about getting the mileage up, and it was a different approach. And so this has been very interesting just to start the year so slow and so small to build to this very big thing that the only way to get there is one day at a time. And so I am right now in a place of there's nothing to it but to do it. You know, I've got 16 miles done and I got, 985 to go. But I can only do it one day at a time. And that is a conscious choice every day, even on rest days, to do my mobility, to take care of my body, to stretch, drinking my tea, going to bed at the same time as much as I can, keeping my stress levels down with my 2 kids when they are at home. All of these things that I'm learning that are so much bigger than just running. I would not have all these tools if I wasn't doing this. And it is a journey. It is a slow, one step at a time journey.
I think that's like the best thing though, right? Because it leads into like resilience isn't about necessarily always pushing through, but it's about how like maybe you reset.
Correct.
And like how if you maybe detach from the numbers and focus on the impact.
Yes.
That's really kind of like the goal. I love that.
It is a process.
It is a process because running is hard.
Yes.
I am not a runner. Look, y'all, if you could see me, you would know.
I am not a runner either.
Not a runner. Not a runner.
I guess I can say I'm a runner now.
You are a runner now.
Yeah.
But like, has there been a day maybe where you're like, I'm not running today?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
I have 2 stories, as a matter of fact. One, this morning, I build hurdles in my mind that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
And to just be said plainly. But like Thursday is my faster run day of the week. Pace wise, it's like the most effort I'm going to put out. And so I get anxious the night before. I never sleep well. When I was training for the half marathon, my first like real long run in my mind was a 9-mile run. And I found myself like giving up at like mile 4. And it was a very interesting moment in that I was both coach and mentee all at the same time while I'm running. And I go, what is it? Why are you trying to give up? And like, I remember this moment of like, it like almost just jumped out of my body and I held it down and I said, no, say it out loud. I'm running, talking to myself.
Yeah.
Say it out loud. I said, I don't want to let you down. I'm afraid of failing and not doing the 9 miles because I don't want to let you down.
Wow.
And I said to myself, you can't let me down because you're already doing it. You're in it. You're already in it. You're already doing it. And I broke. I am sobbing, running, actively running. I am just sobbing. And then I stopped running because I couldn't breathe. And it was just a transformative moment of you can do this.
Yes.
You can. And more often than not, for me, I never want to do it because I don't. I'd rather sit on my couch, but I know there are bigger goals. There are things that I want to achieve. And so like whether I want to or not, really, it doesn't matter because you're always not going to want to do it. So
true.
Your vote doesn't count. And that's to myself.
I love it.
But then getting into it, it's more of the thing of this apprehension of what happens if it goes well? What happens if we do it? I'm afraid of achieving more than I am of failure. But that day, it went from being afraid of failure to being afraid of achieving.
Yeah.
And just telling myself legitimately, like, you cannot let me down because you tried. And that's it. You've never done this before. I've never run 1,000 miles in a year. I've never done a half marathon, but to that point, I'd never run 9 miles. And it was just so crazy to say, like, hey, man, like, it's okay. It's okay. Whether you get 9 miles today or next week, I'm proud of you for showing up.
Yes.
I am proud of you for showing up. And so, yeah, on the days where I don't want to run, that's most of the time. I just told my father-in-law, he said, I can't do 5 a.m. It's just too early and I just didn't enjoy it. And I said, nobody enjoys that. I don't want to. I don't want to. And I have just set things up so that, of course, I would love to sleep in till 7:30 and like kiss my kids on the forehead as they walk themselves to school and they've made their own breakfast. And like now I get to enjoy my quiet house and I don't know, walk on a treadmill while I watch TV and eat chips. I don't know. Like I would love for that, but like I have stuff to do and things that I want in my life. And so, yeah, not wanting to is a constant that's always there. But the bigger side is, why am I doing this? Why are we here? And then just being proud for showing up.
Oh, that part. Being proud.
Yeah.
That you're showing up.
Yeah.
One last question before we wrap up.
Yes.
So like, I would love to know like if you have any best practices that you've done or maybe recommend that we can do to like maybe set realistic expectations without losing motivation or comparing ourselves to everyone else on the planet because guilty.
Yeah. The why answers everything.
Yes.
In the book, the podcast, I talk about awareness and just having awareness of where you want to go. That is legitimately what keeps you going. And more often than not, we as people, we have like a vague idea of where we're going. And so like right now I'm looking at spring break and where do we want to go and, you know, planning and all this stuff. But it's like telling people, yeah, we're going on spring break.
Right.
And people are like, okay, well, where are you going? It's like, oh, on spring break. Okay. But like, where are you going on spring break? Oh, well, you know, I mean, we'll just take some time and, you know, we'll probably swim and, you know, and you like start talking about the things you do on spring break in a destination, but you don't have a destination. And so as you get closer to the dates of spring break, what happens? You start to panic, you start to freak out because you really haven't picked a destination. You know what you want to do when you get there, what you want to feel, you know, all of these things, but you don't know where you're going. And so it is very easy to then look at other people and say, oh, well, they went on spring break and they had a great trip. And I guess it just wasn't meant for me to go on spring break this year.
Right.
Or as things are going, well, it's too late now to plan spring break. So I guess it's just not meant for me this year.
Right.
And that's what we do with our goals. That's what we do with the podcast, the business. We have vague ideas of what we want.
Yep.
And then we start doing things, but it's so easy to be pulled everywhere because you don't have an actual direction of where you're going.
Yes.
And you have to know where you're going. It is great to go on spring break, but you have to know where you're going. Because if it was you and 5 other cars and you said, all right, guys, let's go, everybody's going somewhere different.
Yep.
If you told me to choose, I'm going back to my house. Like
to your couch with your coffee.
And I had a great spring break, like I had a very great spring break. And so I think having a why that matters to you. I always tell people when I coach them one-on-one, the why that scares you or the why that causes you to cry, the why that you don't want to say out loud, the why that seems too much. 9 times out of 10, that's what you actually want. And you just got to take the steps to now get there.
Yes.
And so that is what I would say. Because then the expectations and all these things that we've talked about, it doesn't matter if you don't want to do it. I'm going to Santa Fe for spring break.
Yes.
And so I'm going to do everything I need to do to prepare for Santa Fe during spring break. This is what I do because my why is dictating to me what I do. And again, I don't care what it is. If it is spring break, if it is a podcast, if it's a budget, your why is going to dictate what happens. And all you have to do is show up. I always say the questions are already answered if your why is clear.
Boom.
I could talk about that for years, but you said before we wrap. So that means at some point we have to wrap. So
No, I love it because it's kind of like we have our why,
yeah,
but then we need to like set that process-based goals, right?
yeah,
Like our steps,
yeah,
how we get in there.
mm-hmm.
And then we need to focus on the progress as we're going.
Yes,
And as we're focusing on the progress, all the things, we also need to celebrate those small wins.
yes. I love celebrating a win.
Yes, because like if we just do, and then never, ever celebrate a dag-nabbing thing, well, then what's the fun in that?
Correct. My kids will not understand this probably until they are parents, but we homeschooled my sons, like kindergarten, first grade, we homeschooled. And then this year we put them in school. So they're in public school. He's in second grade. My daughter's in kindergarten. And they finished the semester. And so I took them to get ice cream. And just to celebrate them and the resilience and again, showing up, the days where one of them, it was almost like every day somebody was crying before school, but they did it. And the things that their teachers said about them, the things that the friends that they made, I was just so proud of them. And I go, so many of us were never celebrated for finishing a semester of school.
So true.
You know what I'm saying? And I go, and it wasn't, an all expense trip to Vegas. It was ice cream. It was just a small moment to say, cheers, you did it.
Core memory unlocked right there.
Yeah. And so I love, you got to take the time to just celebrate the smallest of wins, because that is really what helps you move forward.
Gosh. I mean, I just don't think I could find a better place to end on that note.
Yeah,
like
please,
that
because I'm crying.
But it's so good. It's so good. So good. As always, Rafer, you're amazing. I love having conversations with you because I always feel really energized about life and all the things like afterwards. So thank you for reminding us that growth isn't always loud.
No.
But it's always happening.
Yeah, it is.
So I would love for you to let the peoples know where they can find you. He has a book, y'all. Go buy it. Go book your one-on-ones with him. Go do all the things. You will not be disappointed.
That's what's up.
Yeah, share where they can find all the goodness.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Rafer Owens Jr. The book is The Simple Shift on Amazon. And yeah, YouTube. Shifts and Giggles is the podcast, and that is everywhere. But yeah, that's where I am. And
you're sharing your running on Instagram too.
Yes.
So I love that. You may be other platforms. I primarily am on Instagram and Threads. So
yeah, I am updating those, which is, again, really crazy. But here we are, one day at a time.
I love it. I love it. One day at a time, one step at a time, one foot in front of the other.
Literally.
That's all we can do, right? Rafer, thank you so much for coming back and going deep with us on this, both yesterday and today's episode. This has been exactly what I needed to hear. And I know it's a lot of what listeners will need to. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, Leah, I needed this reset, and you want to know what's really standing between you and your next wave of growth, well, that's exactly what I uncover in my podcast growth audit. It is a deep dive where I am putting my fraud investigation skills to good use and reviewing your show's strategy, structure, visibility, all the things so you can walk away knowing exactly what's working and what's not and what to focus on next. You can grab your spot down below in the notes. And if this episode gave you a new perspective, I want you to share it with a podcaster who might be in that plateau season, and also go follow Rafer, because sometimes the right conversation like this one is exactly what gets you moving again. Until next time, keep showing up, keep trusting the process, and remember, keep it seamless, and I'll see you next time.